push that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again, I testify for you. I told her like you, that bitch, I do it all, and I'm around, get it done. Long as you joking.
Hey faves, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aisha Marie. This is Life with Marie. So thank you so much for joining me. If you like what you see in today's video, please like, comment, subscribe to your girl. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified when I do drop my videos and my vlogs once every 77 years. But as you can see from the title of today's video, guys, I'm going to be transparent AF, okay? This is the video you need to see if you are going to have tummy tuck surgery. This is what they don't tell you, okay? But this is real life shit that really happens. I want you guys to go into it fully prepared. Stay tuned. Alright, so I did take some notes. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. 7 months ago, so I'm 7 months post-op. For the most part, I have been healing well. Not by any means fully healed. You will not be fully healed. Do not go into this thinking 3 to 6 months you're going to be 100%, because you're not. I would say I'm about 85%. It's been a long road, a major surgery. Like, for those of you who have had a C-section, I've had 4 C-sections. This was nothing like that, honey. Nothing. All right? Be prepared. I want you to be mentally prepared. Everyone tolerates pain differently. I will let you know what I believe the pain level was for myself. I have an old video that briefly explained my journey, where I stayed and all that. So if you guys want me to do an updated version of that video, let me know, because I had lost a lot of my footage when I was vlogging, like the days that I was actually in Florida getting my surgery. I had an extended tummy tuck. What an extended tummy tuck is, it's from hip to hip, okay? I have 4 C-section. I have also lost an excessive amount of weight. I've probably lost a total of 90 to 100 pounds naturally. So I had excess skin. I was somebody that worked out, all that, okay? For reference, for those of you who are new here and don't watch my vlogs, I'm 5'4", I'm like 5'3" and a half. My weight range is usually somewhere between 175 and 180. Right now I'm on the 180 spectrum. I'm trying to get down. I've been going through a lot. I stress eat. So I've had a lot going on in my personal life, and it's been causing my weight to kind of go up. So once I get my shit together, I'll be back down. My goal weight is 165. So I'm working on it. You need to be prepared to stay. If you're going out of state, you need to be prepared to stay there for at least 2 weeks. I stayed for 10 days. I would not recommend that you only stay for 10 days. I thought I was going to be stuck in Miami. I thought I was going to have to stay an additional couple days, because when I went for my post-op appointment, they wouldn't remove the drains. So you're given 2 drains that you have 2 incisions right in your abdomen, and what that does is all the fluids and stuff from your surgery, your blood, body expels it, so that is what pulls it out. It wasn't draining how it should be. They show you a technique how you have to the tubing, you kind of, I think it's called burping. You have to burp it so that it doesn't get clogged. Mine wasn't doing it fast enough, okay? Ultimately what that meant was that I had a lot of fluid in me. So I was getting my massages. I'll tell you why I got massages. When you have a tummy tuck, you're not supposed to get massages right away. They want you to wait at least, I believe it's 2 weeks. I was able to start getting massages a day or 2 after my surgery, because I also had back lipo. So because I had back lipo, you need massages. BBL girls, I believe you need to start having your massages the day after, and then so on and so forth for at least 3 months, I believe. Tummy tuck is you're a little bit more flexible. So in terms of that, if you need massages, definitely book your massages in advance and try to find someone where you can do a package deal. Maybe 10 massages for $900 or $1,000, because if you're paying per session, it's gonna run you a pretty penny, honey. Especially if you get 12. If you're there for 2 weeks and you get 12, that's gonna be $1,200. look for your massages in advance. So it's important that you stay there. That's why it's very important that you stay there for at least 14 days. My surgeon was cool. He was like, when I went back the next day, look, I was basically helping. I was self-massaging on top of the massage. The girl that I got, I talked about her briefly in another one of my vlogs. She was good. She wasn't someone that was reliable though. And she goes back and forth. She travels. So at the time I happened to catch her when she was there, and then she came back home. So I had a few massages with her. Sweet girl, sweet as pie. It's a very critical part in your care and in your recovery. So you have to have someone who is able to do your massages for you. That's important. So jot that down. Find someone that can do your lymphatic drainage massages. Check to see if they have any package deals. If not, fine, but look for their reviews and see if you can work something out. In regards to the recovery, and let's go through pain. Remember, keep in mind I have 4 C-sections. I thought the recovery was going to be similar to that. I know it was going to be a little bit more severe, but honey, I was in excruciating pain for the first 2 days. Day 1, I felt very sick, nauseous. That's because of the anesthesia. I felt like I had been hit by a truck or a bus, okay? I just felt like a ton of bricks was either on me or that I weighed that. Like I couldn't really move. You really need someone you need caretakers that can care for you. If you're a heavier individual, make sure that your caregivers are able to, in a sense, be able to carry you the first couple days. I would say I'm mid-size, I'm average size. So I had both my husband and my aunt. I weigh less than I think both of them. So all 3 of us are like within the same, because I think my aunt is like 180. So 180, 190. So we're all in the same weight range, weight class. But if you're a bigger girl, 200s, or even if you're 150, don't bring your friend or your cousin that's 110 pounds. Weak as hell. Unless she lifts weights in the gym and she's a strong one, don't. Because you can't fucking help. They damn near lifted me up and I was just gliding to the bathroom and stuff the first couple of days. So be mindful that you're going for major surgery and they actually need to be able to care for you. They also need to understand that they're there to be a caregiver, a caretaker. You are going to be helpless. You cannot bend. You cannot lay. You can't do shit by yourself at all. I want to say by day 5 or 6, I was able to I was getting myself dressed. Make sure you bring slippers, sandals, stuff you can just slip your feet into. I had muumuus. Bring gowns that button up in the front. Do not bring anything that's tight fitting. Don't bring sweatpants. Don't bring leggings. Bring all like house gowns. I can show you guys an example if you want. I'll just give you an example of 2 different types of things that I brought. I should have had it pulled out for you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm back, faves. So I basically brought outfits like this. I had a lot of maxi dresses as well, so bring loose fitting maxi dresses. What I did was I went on Shein, so find cheap ones, or if you have like one of the little cheap stores in your town, or you could brought them in bigger sizes. I wear like a size medium. I brought them in like extra large, so get like an extra large 1X. If you're a extra small or small, get a large, extra large, so it's loose fitting. So I brought like 6 maxi dresses. I found this grandma house gown. I still wear this. I literally still wear this. It buttons up in the front. I want to say it was maybe about $5. I have this at like a local store, a little cheap store. Then I brought this muumuu. This is I still wear this as well. This is one of my favorites. This was my go-to there, okay? I loved this muumuu. Loved it. Still love it. When I wear this, my kids, two of my kids get underneath this with me. Caretakers are very important. So choose wisely. Do not make any mistakes. Let them know, especially if you're going to like a place like Miami or Florida to have your surgery. It's known as a party town. They're not there to turn up and have a good time. They're there to take care of you. So don't go there with someone with that mindset. Let them know that this is not a free-for-all. Like, you need them. Make sure they're not selfish. Make sure they're not going to get tired of you, because you are going to be needy. I had my moment where I broke down because I'm somebody that I don't like being dependent on people. I just don't. Never did. Probably never will. I cried because I dropped something for like the third time off it was like a little tiny nightstand, and I went to put something up there and it fell on the floor, and I just bust out crying. My husband's like, why are you crying? It was horrible. You're gonna be an emotional wreck. Do not beat yourself up. You're gonna question why you did this. As much as I've been waiting for this, probably since my oldest child is 13. I want to say since he was little, since I had like that excess skin, especially after I gave birth to, first it was him, then I was still kind of young and I was partying, so I didn't really give a shit. Like, I was a little insecure about my weight, but the excess skin didn't bother me as much because I was still heavier, so it wasn't noticeable. It wasn't noticeable until I got under 200 pounds. Once I hit under 200 and then I really started noticing it, it was like, it has to go. So I want to say for the past 7 years, I think I've been researching tummy tucks. Your girl got in there. I regretted it initially. I was like, why did I do this? Like, then when you look at yourself in the mirror, they even tell you, this is not your final result. Do not go based off this. I'm like, I just was not happy. I'm like, I don't know. But I'm a realist. I was like, give it time. I'm like, I'm swollen as hell. I look like a box. Like, I literally looked like a rectangle, okay? Yeah, all that excess skin was gone, but I saw stuff that I didn't like, okay? I'll get to that shortly. With your post-operative care, you're going to be wrapped in a binder. That's your stage 1 binder. My surgeon wanted me to keep it on for like 3 to 4 weeks. So I did. I took it off to wash it. I was at the Airbnb, but when I took it off, I had a second one that I had ordered off of Amazon. I'm going to show you that one. I don't have the first one anymore. I threw that one out. I put this one on. And it's just the Velcro. And I still occasionally put it on when I'm feeling extremely bloated. If it was something I could do differently, I would wear my binder longer. The binder and the faja. I wore mine for the first 3 to 4 months. I would definitely say wear it for at least the first 6 months. Daily. So then I wore that one for maybe another month by itself. And then I transitioned into a faja, which I just got right off of Amazon. This is not like the real... It's a Colombian faja. But I liked it. I originally had got a size medium. I got a medium. It fit. I wore it for like 2 weeks and I ordered a size small because it was cheap. It's like $40. Say cheap, it's cheaper than regular fajas. Bring at least 2 binders with you. They're going to give you one for surgery. Yeah, because you're going to be there for 2 weeks. So it depends. Every surgeon is different. So you have to find out what your surgeon recommends. This is what my surgeon recommended. So I was pretty... I followed instructions because keep in mind you will not be able to sleep on your stomach, okay? I did not sleep on my stomach for 3 to 4 months. I slept on my back. Your back will be on fire. My back hurt extremely bad. It was extremely inflamed for the first 6 months. When I tell you inflamed, after the initial... So back to the pain. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but let me just tell you guys. After the initial first 2-3 weeks, your tummy starts feeling better. You're hunched over like this for weeks. You cannot stand up straight. You have to keep the tension to a minimum on the incision. So you're hunched over like a little grandma. I even had a little walker to help me. Okay, your back is going to be hurting for a minute. And then I had back lipo on top of it. So after the first couple weeks, my stomach, the tummy tuck incision was healing. I was feeling better. The lipo is what did it for me. So the 360 lipo, I can only imagine. I see what the girlies be talking about when they be like in excruciating pain. Like, it's no joke. I don't really know what can help alleviate that pain other than getting your massages. That's what get your massages. If you're going to take painkillers, take your painkillers. I was misinformed. I brought heating packs with me. That's a no-no. They don't want you to do that. Again, whatever surgery center you go to, they're going to send you a list of supplies that you should bring. Also find YouTube videos and stuff. Some things on the supply list are unnecessary. You don't really need them. It's better to be safe than sorry, though. I didn't end up needing the heating packs. My surgeon was like, absolutely not. The only thing I could say that really helped alleviate my pain was get the massages, wear my compressions. So like my binder, my compression stockings. They only require you to wear your compression stockings for, I think, 7 days. I wore mine for 2.5 weeks. To each their own. But I didn't want to run the risk of getting a pulmonary embolism or a DVT or anything like that. I wanted my circulation to keep flowing because I could feel, whenever I took them off, I could feel like the fluid in my feet. So now let's talk about some of the risks of having surgery and complications. I'm not a medical professional by any means, so you need to speak with your surgeon to go over all the risks and complications. But we all know death is one. That's the big one. If you have a board certified surgeon and you're overall pretty healthy, there's a 95% chance you're going to be fine. There's always a risk though, so they have to tell you that. Not only, let's just stop this here. Not only is your surgeon important, your anesthesiologist or nurse anesthetist is important. Okay? Ultimately, your life is in their hands as well. So that's very important. The CRNA that came in to put my IV in, when I met her, she was great. I instantly knew, I was like, oh, I'm going to be in great hands. Like, I felt comfortable. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. I woke up a couple hours later. Other than the risks that people think of that are scary, like death and run risk for infection prevention is very important. Anytime you go to touch your body, to change your dressings, try not to touch your incision, okay? Unless you're changing your dressings or you're gonna put on like your barrier cream. I didn't start putting that on till it was pretty much healed, when it wasn't raw and leaking. There's like silicones that you put on it for the scarring. That, I want to say, maybe I started putting that on at 6 weeks. So in the beginning, all you're doing, keep your dressings clean and dry. Don't touch it, leave it alone. And when you go to change it, have on gloves. If you have someone helping you, make sure they're wearing gloves. I don't care. So what? It's your own body. Put on gloves. I don't care that's your mother. Put on gloves. Pour any like if it's pussy, if it's green, bloody, like anything that looks like infection. If you have a fever, you need to call your surgery center ASAP. They prescribe you narcotic medication that only lasts you, I believe, the first 2 or 3 days. I needed it a little bit longer. So what I did, a lot of people don't have this option. They can't do this. I was able to call over to my PCP and she did prescribe me pain meds. It was really hard trying to get the meds filled in another state. A lot of places was out of stock. I want to say it was oxycodone. So a lot of pharmacies did not have it in stock. The one pharmacy that did have it in stock, I believe, was in a Publix, which is like the grocery stores in the South. And it's like a mom and pops kind of pharmacy. So the pharmacist there was very like nervous. She had to do like a whole verification check, which I didn't mind. Like I gave her the surgery center because she's like, she thought I was smuggling drugs or something. It was suspicious to her. I was like, no, I'm here for surgery. I'm here for 2 weeks almost. And my PCP called me in more pain meds because my surgeon, they only do it for 3 days, but I'm still in a lot of pain. And I don't know why I was in so much pain the first few days. And I was like very active. It's very important that you're walking. Even if you're just walking to the bathroom, get up and walk. And drink a lot of water and like electrolytes. But sugar free. Don't go get the Gatorade and Powerade full of sugar. Get the sugar free. Okay? I didn't have an appetite at all. I did not eat real food the first 4 days, I ate Jello, okay, and applesauce. I took my, because you have to also take 7 to 10 day antibiotic. I believe it was Cipro. It's for infection, so it's very important that you do not skip your antibiotic. Take your antibiotic for the full course. Don't just take it for 3 to 5 days. Go, I'm straight. No, you're not. My incision was draining, and when I tell you it was looking nasty on my dressings, honey, to me it was like a little mucusy looking color. I instantly thought it was infected. They were like, no, it's not infected. I called that surgery center a lot, okay? They were sick of me.
Prepare to be sick of me. Prepare.
I'm calling. I have an odor to it. That was just the drainage. So it's like, okay, honey, some things you can experience. Seroma, which is a collection of fluids. You'll see it. It looks like a squishy thing. I don't know. You'll be able to see it's like a collection of fluid right under your skin. I didn't have that, thankfully. But you'll know. I've seen videos where girls experienced it. You need to let them know because it needs to be drained. So that's a minor complication that could happen. A more major complication is necrosis. I low-key think I had necrosis. I'm going to tell you guys why. So necrosis is like the death of all the skin cells, or all your cells in one area, and the tissue dies. Usually because of like an injury or a trauma. They tell you that you're not supposed to lift anything. My surgeon said do not lift more than, he told me for the first 2 months, don't lift anything more than a fork to your mouth to eat and your cell phone. I was like, oh my God, but I have a fairly new baby. He was like, sorry, you can't pick the baby up. I'm like, oh shit. Legit 2 to 3 months I was on a weight restriction. They tell you to keep the kids away from you. You cannot run any risk of injury to your incision. Here's what happened to me. Here's my story. I was like 2 months post-op. I was sitting on the sofa. My oldest daughter came to sit. She came and like plopped down on the sofa, and her knee just slightly tapped my incision like that. I'm like, oh shit. So it wasn't like instant pain or nothing. Over the course of the next week or so, I started to notice that it was starting to become a little bit painful. It was a little red. It was a little hot to the area. I didn't have a fever though. So I called the surgery center. Like, oh, you don't have a fever. Da, 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 da. This is why it's important to advocate for yourself. Because if you don't know, they never want to think the worst. You know what I'm saying? They want everything to be complication free. It's not. Shit happens. If you know your body, advocate for yourself. I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's just what it is. Okay? I'm like, no, something's not right. So it started to get more painful. At this point, it was hurting. No, let me just give it a couple days. At this point, I had actually called. This is back when I was going my Atlanta vlog. We were getting ready to go to Atlanta, where it was like really painful. I want to say the pain level was probably like a 6 out of 10, which is pretty high for me. I'm like, I'm just going to thug it out for this little Atlanta trip. When we come back, I'm going to probably go to the doctor to see what's going on. Because I called the surgery center. They were like, oh, just keep an eye on it. Let me know, let us know if there's any fever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. We had like a 16-hour drive to Atlanta. I was experiencing some discomfort. Like I was taking Motrin and stuff. Motrin was helping. I kept it like padded so that the seatbelt wasn't rubbing onto it. I want to say day 3, I got in the shower in the morning. Washing up, looked down, I realized there was some type, I thought it was just like fluid stuck under there trying to get out. Honey, no. Pus started draining. It was like leaking out. So I had to clean it or whatever. I cleaned it. I didn't go to no doctor down there because it instantly, like the release, it was like a cyst. It felt better instantly. So then it was just a little tiny hole. Over the next course of whatever, it turned into a hole about that size. All right, so imagine now I have a hole that size right here. So now I'm freaking out a little bit. On the way back home, so the following day we're on the road, we're on the way back home. I'm calling the doctor. As soon as we got home, went to urgent care. She looked at it. She's like, I want to send you to the emergency room just because it's hard to tell you know, what's under there, if there's any infection, like you need to get a CAT scan. Like, we don't think you're septic, but we don't know. Because I was like, that was my biggest fear. Like, I didn't want to go into septic shock. I've seen bad things happen to people who go into septic shock. They send me to the emergency room. I get checked. They do a culture, like swab of it. That shit was painful. They put a Q-tip in the little incision. Sent me for the CAT scan. Everything came back normal. No infection, no bacteria. So they're like, we're gonna refer you to wound care. I'm like, oh my god. I called my surgeon the next day, updating them on what happened. So now finally, they're putting some fucking pep in their stuff. I'm like, they refer me to wound care. So the nurse calls me or whatever, explaining what's going on, explaining everything over again, that what happened. She gets the surgeon on the phone. So I spoke to Dr. Goldberg. I explained it to him. It was hard for him to make a diagnosis or anything because he didn't see it. And he's like, it sounds like I had spitting sutures that one of them may have gotten infected. Spitting sutures are the sutures that are not visible under the skin. So surgeons make thousands of sutures. Or hundreds, probably. You have the ones on the outside that you can visibly see. And then you have the ones underneath, is what he was explaining to me. And sometimes your body rejects them. My body does have a tendency to reject foreign objects. So I'm not surprised. But he thinks that when my daughter lightly tapped my incision, it triggered something there. And like the spitting suture tried to expel itself. And it couldn't. And then it ended up getting infected, which caused that to happen. So he doesn't think it was necrosis. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I beg to differ. But I will say necrosis from the pictures that I've seen, the majority are like dark, black, hardened areas. Mine was more red, and it was a little hard. I'm going to show you guys. He was like, no, hold off for a week. Don't go to wound care. He was like, I'm going to prescribe you this medication. Well, this cream. I want you to put it on for 2 weeks. Silver Sulfadine is what it was called. Cream. I was packing it in there, putting it on, covering it with a dressing. That did absolutely nothing. It was not working. Okay? What the fuck? This is not healing. I'm like, I'm really gonna have to go to wound care for them to just. All they're gonna do is dress it or do the same thing he did. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I started feeling helpless, and now I'm regretting my decision. I started doing my own research. Your girl goes on Amazon because I'm an Amazon connoisseur. I come across this one product with thousands of reviews. Excellent reviews. Almost 5 stars from thousands of people. I was like $13 at the time. I said, let me try it. You guys, this is what it came. Alright. Silver calcium alginate dressing. There's 4 dressings. They're 4x4 dressings. What I did, I turned 1 into 4. So I ended up having 20. This is the second box that I ordered to have on hand. After 5 days, that hole was closed. After about 2 weeks, fully healed. Fully healed. Okay? I don't know what is in this, but wound care, this shit is magic. And I'm gonna buy some more to have on hand. Now let's talk about the appearance. They say don't judge your body until at least 6 months to a year because you're not fully healed. Having surgery, I want to say I probably gained about 9 pounds, 10 pounds. So disregard that. We're talking about the surgery itself. One of the things that can happen to you, and they say it can happen with anybody, sometimes it's something your surgeon really can't control. It's because of your body shape. So remember, I had an extended. That's from hip to hip. Some people can develop what's called dog ears, where it's like your sides, you have fat that's hanging off your sides. Especially if you didn't get Lipo 360. I did not get Lipo 360. I'm contemplating. I think I'm gonna go get Lipo 360. We shall see. If after my ass hits the gym, I plan on joining the gym soon. I'm gonna give myself at least 4 months in the gym to see how my body starts looking, to see if I can get rid of this like fat. I'll show you guys the healing and everything. So this is my stomach. and I get bloated, okay? I do get bloated. And when you're bloated, it bloats up here. So right here, this was flat, but I'm gaining weight. So I'm getting a little chunky right there. I have to handle that. Let me show you what the dog ears are, okay? So when you pull this down, see that? See that? I don't know if you could tell. When I wear certain things, you see how it hangs over like that? And then my surgeon, I don't know if this is where he started or ended my incision, but it's like pokes out a little bit. So I don't like that excess fat. For the most part, my stomach is flat, okay? But this part has got to go. And then, to me, you can see it through certain clothing. See? Like when I'm this way. You see how you can see it? Once I lose this is all literally from the weight that I just gained. Definitely gonna get back on my grind when I get out of this stupid ass depressive slump. I'm gonna get back on my grind, lose my weight. I'm gonna work out, see what happens, see if that helps. I feel like it needs to be corrected. I haven't really decided if I want to do Lipo 360 and a BBL. My thing is, if I'm gonna do Lipo 360, might as well do the BBL because you're there. That way I don't have to go back ever again. And that'll be that. Because I wouldn't get 2 rounds of surgery. I already have an okay butt. Like, my butt is pretty wide. It's not the fullest or plumpest. But it's enough. I just need a little extra oomph. I don't want no big old booty. I like the natural looking butts. I just really want a better shape, if we're being honest. Shape is not something you can get in the gym either. Like, don't let people fool you into thinking that. You cannot get a shape is hereditary. It's all about your DNA. The gym is not going to make you get hips, honey. It's not. You're going to build muscle, right? The gym is not going to help you develop an hourglass. It's not. Like, let's be real here. Tummy tucks are a little bit more on the expensive side. For those of you who don't know, for the surgery itself, I paid $7,500. I put a $500 deposit, and then I paid the additional $7,000 when I was there. They give you the option to pay over the course of however long you need. I didn't do it that way because I'm like, what if anything could happen? It's like, I think it's like non-refundable or 50% refundable. $500 is a lot, but it's not as much as $2,500. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to pay all at once. That's just the cost of your surgery. Please keep in mind that you have to pay for your post-operative care. You have to pay for your supplies. You have to look and see what your doctor requires. I know some of the doctors at the surgery center that I went to, they all have different requirements. Every surgeon is not the same, okay? Some of them require that cell saver, which was an additional $500. My tummy tuck was $5,000. My back lipo was $2,500. Back lipo, I really don't have much to say about that. I see a significant difference. Because at one point, like, don't get up here. You don't know me. Don't get in my comments about something. You could have just worked out. You could have just went to the gym. For those of you who do not know, I have a life outside of YouTube. And before I had 4 children, I only had 2 children. And when I only had 2 children, I was a weightlifter. I lifted heavy. I was very muscular. That fat back here never went anywhere. Never went anywhere. The loose skin never went anywhere. Like I said, I've lost over 90 pounds, close to 100 pounds naturally. So I don't need your 2 cents. I don't need to know how to lose weight because I know how. I can give you a few tips. Play with your kids. Don't play with me.
Don't play with me. I am not the one.
Let's keep it cute. Y'all my favorite people anyways, so. I already know y'all not gonna come at me crazy, but you know you have those few trolls that want to put their 2 cents in where it's not asked for. Like, I didn't ask for that. I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. And yes, things like this do happen, but guess what? I'm sharing it with people who care. For people who are thinking about going to have this done. I've said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Make sure your surgeon is board certified. Make sure you are honest with your surgeon. They're asking you about your medical history for a reason. Please don't lie. If you're not feeling well, you need to postpone it, honey. Anesthesia is no joke. That's something you might not wake up. You have to be honest. I know it's something you want, but your life is more important. Just postpone it. I know you're excited. You want to live in your new body, your new skin. But honey, you got other shit you're going to have to worry about once you get it done. All in all, if I could go back based on what I know now, would I do it all over again? Absolutely. Because I feel great. Yes, there's minor things here and there, but I've come such a long way in my journey, in my weight loss journey. To me, that was holding me back. So I just want you guys to be prepared. You have to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I personally feel like in the long run, it's paying off. It's going to pay off. Yes, I ran into a few little hiccups along the way. I'm blessed and I'm happy that it didn't cost me. You know, so I can deal with it. I'm going to be transparent with you. Out of a 10, what I would rate myself, I would only rate myself as about a 7.5, 8. That's because we're chasing this perfect image of ourselves, okay? And realistically, I know that. And will you ever view yourself as a 10? I don't know. I don't know if perfect to me is in the eye of the beholder. Like they say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I don't know. I don't know what I would consider a 10 for myself. But as far as my body, I feel like my body be bodying, but it's not perfect. Will it ever be perfect? Probably not. Do I really care? I don't fucking think so. I think once I get the dog ears corrected and I lose my few more pounds that I need to lose, I'll be okay. That'll be as close to perfect as I'm going to get, and I will be content with that. And that's just that. I'm human. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You guys know I'm all over the place, but I love sharing, and I'm an oversharer. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know about your plastic surgery experiences. Did you have any scares? Are you planning to go for surgery? If so, just make sure you do your research. I'm praying for you. I'm praying that everything goes well, that you have a speedy recovery, that, you know, if you encounter any of the issues that I've encountered, that the information that I shared with you will help you. Again, I'm not a healthcare provider, so reach out to your surgeon or your primary care doctor. This is something you really want. I 100% advocate for it. Do what is going to make you happy. Do not do it for anyone else. Do it for you. Don't do it because your man be on them bitches' Instagrams. Now, if this is something you've been working on and this is something you really want for you, not to impress anyone else, but to make you feel good, sis, do that shit. Who cares what people are gonna talk regardless? Girl, they ridicule Jesus. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. I'll talk to you soon.